What's up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video after a disastrous stream of Street Fighter. That's right, Street Fighter 6. Man, if you weren't on to watch him play, it was nothing but salt and coke for over 2.5 hours. Just Phil losing it over and over again, and of course, last night's main excuse was input drops. That's right. Phil had settled on input drops for his excuse for why he was so garbage tier at Street Fighter. So let's see what Phil had to say. By the way, this was like 14 minutes long of him ranting and raving about Street Fighter. I cut it back and just gave you guys the meaty details. So let's get into it.
Friday Night Fight Street Fighter 6. Now, I know people want me to keep playing Street Fighter on Friday nights. It's just getting incredibly frustrating, and there's a couple reasons. Namely, it seems to me every single time that I play Street Fighter on a Friday night, it's just harder to play. And you might say, well, what do you mean? It's not the competition. It's that every time I play this on a Friday night, I have issues with tons of dropped inputs. I play the game well, I'll be in the midst of winning, and then all of a sudden a simple combo will drop. A simple block just absolutely refuses to come out, and it frustrates me because I've already explained this, and of course idiotic people who don't want to listen to me but instead want to listen to FGC fanboys and figureheads who are just going to kiss the ass of rollback netcode, they don't want to listen to the fact that when you play online in these games, if you play pattern, meaning the same repetitive shit over and over, you will be rewarded. If you mash jab, you will be rewarded. If you do the same basic stuff, you will be rewarded. If you try to do anything advanced, right? React to what someone's actually doing most of the time. Mix them up, trick them, or react to them doing a mistake and counter hit them. You will be punished. Perfect example. If you knock someone down in Street Fighter 6, you walk up to them. As they're getting up, you're supposed to be doing a move that's called a meaty. A meaty is a move you throw out there that already is hitting as they get up. If they try to do anything besides a move that has invincibility, they should get stuffed, and now you get a free combo after. In Street Fighter 6, if you try to do a meaty on someone, and they literally just mash the jab button like this, the netcode sometimes will reward them because they mashed jab and give them the jab and say you didn't do an input and you get comboed instead. So think about that. You did the right thing. You downed the opponent. They should be at a weakness. Now's your advantage to take advantage of what you did. You did a good thing. Now get rewarded. Nope. Your reward is not only taken away, but this netcode rewards them for just going like this like a fucking idiot, and then they get a big reward after if it hits. They get a big combo. That's how this game plays. That's how most rollback games play. It's sad. Does that work offline? Absolutely not. It only works online, but that's how these games play. So it seems to me on Friday nights, it's the absolute worst. Of all the days that I play Street Fighter, Friday nights are always the nights that I try to play, and the game will not agree with me. It drops the majority of inputs. I'll be trying to get something going, and all of a sudden, I'll just be hit like a brick wall. And that's exactly what happened tonight. I started off right out of the gates, 3-4 matches that were terrible. Like, I swear I'm blocking. I swear I'm doing a move or combo. What is going on? And then the problem with this ranked gameplay in Master is that if you lose to someone, all right, you lose an insane amount of points, but then they'll keep matching you with lower level people, and if you beat them, you don't get the points back. So let's say, for example, I'm ranked at the starter 1500 master ranking points, which is what you start with, and your first match is against a 1300 rank point person who's someone who's lost a ton since they hit master. They suck. If they scrub out one win and beat you, they're going to take away like 13, 14, 15 of your points. If you beat them twice, you don't get the points back. You don't get enough. You've actually lost points overall because you lost to someone lower than you. Think about that. Now.
Okay, Phil, I'm thinking about it. So the first thing I need to say is, really, Phil, your gripe now is that so essentially Friday night is a detractor. That's what Phil is saying. Friday night's the day of the week that he decides to play Street Fighter is a detractor because he drops his inputs or the game changes and becomes, the AI is so self-aware that it knows that it's Friday night and it knows that Phil is playing, so of course it's going to do everything it can to make sure that Phil loses and looks utterly terrible. It's going to drop his inputs, it's going to give him laggy matches, And of course, it's going to make him drop points. That's what Phil is saying here, folks. Listen to what this man is saying. My second point is, who cares if you lose points, Phil? I thought you said you're not playing this competitively. Who cares if you lose matches? The only one that cares is you, Phil. No one does. Detractors don't care. I don't care. I just find it funny the way you react to when you lose. You can lose all your matches, and it would be like, okay, well, Phil's just having a bad night or whatever. It's not going his way. But your reaction makes it 100 times worse, and that's the reason why people point and laugh at you. That's why I laugh at you. I mean, I've admitted that I'm not a good Streetfighter player. I'm below average at best. And I know that it could be a difficult game, and it's mostly a game of guessing, and I'm just not that great at it. But I don't care. You're the only one that assigns this level of value to this game. Like, and I've talked about this before, where, you know, Phil has no true meaning in his life. He doesn't have any children. He doesn't have any family. He doesn't have any friends. He doesn't have any hobbies. He doesn't have a real job. So he needs to assign meaning to the menial things like video games. And that's the reason why he's spazzing out like this. So yeah, you keep doing it, Phil, and I'll just keep making videos and laughing at you.
Let's say, for example, all night, all it does is give you lower ranked people, and they're laggy, and they're fucking abusing patterns, and they just scrub out a few wins. You actually lose all your points. That's actually what happened to me tonight. I wasn't losing to people who were much higher ranked than me, outplaying me, dominating me. They kept matching me against lower end people with bad connections and shitty gameplay, and because the game doesn't perform well on Friday nights for whatever reason, I lost points. So my points just go away. Even though I'm winning, I'm losing points. Like, what the fuck is that? And that happened like all night long. I'm not saying I didn't lose. I lost a bunch tonight. Frustrating, because a lot of those matches, again, I had them. The matches are won. Here it comes. Move drops. What the fuck? Don't block. What the fuck? But I'm winning. And now they get one. That's the problem with Street Fighter 6 is the top tiers, when they push you into the corner, now you have to get lucky to get out. Right? Or you have to guess correctly, which I still consider to be... I don't think a correct guess is anything but luck in this game, being honest, okay? A lot of people think, oh, it's skill. What do they call it? Yomi? Oh, you can predict? No. I think it's luck to be able to guess and get out of a corner. If I was a better character than Blanca, I'd be easier to get out of a corner, but I'm not a better character than Blanca. That's my best character, right? So, you know, I have to basically work hard, and if one thing goes wrong and they get me to the corner as a result, the match is over. And that's incredibly frustrating when you're playing well and you are outplaying your opponent and you are winning and dominating, and then one thing doesn't happen that you swear you did, game over for you. Wow, that's really fair. In the meantime, their opponent gets a million chances because they pick a top tier character and they constantly recover and they can constantly mash buttons and get out of situations. It's pretty frustrating, all right? So overall tonight, I do feel like the more I'm playing with Blanca, I am improving. There's some more mix-ups and things I'm using, more tricks, more reactions. I am getting slightly better with certain things. I'm learning spacing a little better with the throws. A walk forward throw, I'm getting right to the edge and getting the people now. And I like that I can just walk forward or dash forward, instant throw. That's really cool, and that's going to make my gameplay better. But mashing jab is still way too powerful. So many people can just mash jab through 90% of the stuff that I do, including meaties. They're just mashing jab and it beats it. No, shouldn't. Should not do that. It probably would not do that offline. It's just trash gameplay. And me dropping inputs is frustrating. And again, it'd be one thing if it happened every once in a while, but when it's on and off consistent on a Friday night, it's a little weird, you know? I actually turned crossplay on again tonight for the second half, just because I wanted more opponents. I got tired of playing the same fucking PlayStation opponents. There was someone on PlayStation, had a 230 millisecond connection, and they were ranked like 1,300 points, and then because of that, they won a match and won a ton of my points, and I had no opportunity to win them back. I was like, this is a fucking broken-ass piece of shit game. I can't believe that they would make you play someone in ranked at that, 230 milliseconds, and then they wouldn't let you drop the match or nothing, and you lose the points and you're done. Like, how is that fair? So, I am getting frustrated the more I play this now in Master, because you would think if you're playing in Master, you should be learning and improving and playing better players. I'm not. I'm still playing scrubs. I'm still playing button mashers. I'm still playing people who fucking do the same patterns over and over and get away with them. They shouldn't. And that's frustrating. The good news is I am improving my overall Blanca gameplay and strategies, but I'm still getting screwed over more often than not, and it's making me get stuck. I don't...
This guy's laughable. Oh my lord. So let's recap here. Scrubs are beating Phil. Yes, that's right, scrubs. People that can't play the game, that can't match up to Phil because Phil is such a tactician at Street Fighter. They're beating him. That doesn't sound that doesn't sound right, Phil. Maybe they're just better than you. Maybe you're just too slow to react. I'm pretty sure that's it, more than the fact that you're playing this on Friday nights, or that you're playing people with bad internet connection, or the input drop, or the AI has become self-aware and it knows specifically to target you, or that Comcast hired someone specifically just to monitor your gameplay and make sure that only you get dropped inputs. Okay, so you talk about how the game rewards you for scrub tactics like mashing and playing pattern and stuff like that, right? I would be willing to accept that, or even take a look at that, Phil, if you would do it. Why don't you fire up a gameplay, right? Pick one of the characters, whoever you can, one of those characters that you claim have a advantage, and all they do is mash and play the pattern because you know what the pattern is, right, Phil? And why don't you do it? Why don't you just do a stream of it where you do the lag tactics, where you do the where you do the mashing button, where you do the pattern play. And if by your logic, if what you're saying is correct, that you're so much better and that pattern play rewards you, you should win way more than you lose. Now, Phil, if you do that, then that's some testing and that's some proof that you can show. Not you just sitting here and regurgitating this bullshit that makes no sense. You sound like a maniac. But if you really want to prove your theory, Phil, why don't you do that? Why don't you fire up the next gameplay, pick a Ken, pick a Jury, pick a Luke, pick one of those players that you call OP in this fight, and do the pattern. Do the mashing, and let's see how many matches you win. What I suspect what will happen is you're going to lose just as much as you lose now. There's going to be no difference. And of course, when that happens, you'll have a totally different excuse. You'll blame something else. You'll blame the internet connection. You'll blame the fact that the big one will be, oh well, I don't play with these players, so I don't know how to really play with them. It's gonna take me a long time to get used to playing with Luke, or to get used to playing with Ken. That's gonna be your excuse, right, Phil? I'm pretty sure that's the bullshit that you're gonna kick out. It's just utter garbage, Phil. We know, and everyone knows. That's the thing. You're sitting here and you talk about how you're the only person that knows this is the truth, and that there's a huge conspiracy theory out there, to shut you down because you know the truth. The FGC and Capcom and the Cannon brothers, everyone's in the conspiracy, and they're just shutting you down, Phil. You know how much of a lunatic you sound? You sound like a fucking lunatic. And the thing would be is that I would be more sympathetic if other people were saying the same thing. No one is saying the same thing. No one. I know people that play casually. I know people that try to play competitively. And no one complains about anything that you're talking about. No one complains about the netcode. No one complains about lag. No one. Does it happen? Yeah, it happens from time to time. But if you listen to Phil, it happens every match he loses. And it's interesting, it's always every match he loses. You would think this would occur during every single match he would play, the ones he wins and loses. Of course not. It just happens during the matches that he loses. So again, I'm calling bullshit on this. This is just Phil coping and seething at the fact that he's an average player of Street Fighter, and the meaning he's trying to subscribe to his life has no meaning. Alright, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.